Welcome folks to another rebuild, and a rebuild a little bit different than the previous ones that we have been doing over 5 years, as we welcome you to Preston North End as we take the Championship club and turn them into Premiership champions, and we'll do it for as long as it takes. I've got a feeling it could be more than 5 seasons. And the reason for picking at Preston North End is I think they were, or correct me if I'm wrong, they were the first team to lift the first ever league title and the first team to double as well, winning it. And that was way back in the 1890s or something like that. And I believe it's here, 1889 and 1890. So as you can see, it's been nearly 135 seasons, 35 years since they lifted the top flight league trophy. So I want to help them out a little bit as they are languishing down in the Championship and have been for quite a while. I want to boost them straight back into the Premiership and win them the first title in, like I say, nearly 135 years. That is a long time. As you can see, they've got a history that they can be proud of, enduring a 23-year barren spell now in trophies, having not won a competition since 2000. They won the English top flight, like I say, in the 1889 and 90, finishing runners-up 6 times, winning the FA Cup in 89 and 38. So it would be nice to win them that trophy as well, and finishing at second best 5 other times. They've won the second tier, finishing runners up as well, and the third tier also. We are using an updated database which can be found out, and the one that I am using is from Sort It Out SI, and I think it was dated the 16th of February, so I'm sure there's probably an updated version, but we're going with the one that we have loaded in. So there'll be no transfers for the first season. They are predicted to finish near the bottom of the table as well, so that's something we are definitely going to have to remedy. So they do like to play 3 at the back, wing backs, midfielders, so they pack the midfield out. Okay, that's something we will probably have to change because it's clearly not working for them with 2 up front. I do like the 2 up front, and I have used it in my last rebuild with Arminia Bielefeld in Germany, which if you haven't watched it, go and check it out. With that one, I should have carried it on a couple of seasons as well, I feel. That's the sort of thing you would like to see, longer videos and more seasons, then please let me know down in the comments below. They've got quite a lot of loan obligations. The director of football, Peter Ridsdale, do not sign players over the age of 30. Well, that'll go hand in hand with what we normally do anyway when we try and rebuild over 5 seasons. So I'm quite happy and comfortable with that. Break even in the transfer market. So whatever we have, we don't overspend. Work within the wage budget, which is pretty much a gimme. They want us to be competitive in the cuts, finish mid-table, record a Scout Championship top half finish, reach the playoffs, and win promotion to the Premier Division. Okay, we'd like to do it as soon as possible. So as always, let's have a look at the finances. They have got 3 million in the bank. There's no transfer budget. Like I say, we're not going to be doing one for this first season. Any debts? Only 400,000, and they've got 325 remaining. That's not too bad at all. They could literally pay that off with the sponsorship money, which I probably would do myself. Staff looks pretty reasonable going into the Championship, above average for everything apart from recruitment team and, well, medical staff's non-existent there, so it seems. So let's do things in a little bit of reverse, as we'll have a look at our youth team. Let's have a look at the under-18s first, see what we have got to play with here. So it looks like they've got 2 players in the under-18s. Harry Stringfellow, 16 years old. Okay, doesn't look too bad. Let's have a look at the under-21s. Hopefully that'll show us a little bit more. So if we have a look at potential first, Rodriguez Gentil, 17-year-old Argentinian striker, 13 finishing already. I mean, them stats look pretty good already, you know. 17 years old. Can we bring him into the first team already? We've got Jaden Magoma. I think he's on loan to us. If that's the case, why is he not put in the first team? Because he looks pretty good as well. Good determination. Left back. Few players out on loan. A couple here. Noah, DM, midfield, Cam. That looks pretty good stats as well for the 19-year-old. We've also got Best. Is he striker? He's not. His left back there. Again, somebody that looks pretty good already. 18 years old. Maybe we promote him if we haven't got a left back. promote him and use him. But I'd be very interested to see if he has got that high potential, and a couple of others as well. So let's jump into the first team and have a look at what we have got to play with. So considering they don't want to sign anybody over the age of 30, they have got 7 players 30 and above. Maybe we can offload them next season and get some money for them. Ched Evans, 35-year-old striker. He's currently injured, 3 to 4 months, so he won't be playing. We've got a goalkeeper, got a wing back, Robbie Brady. I doubt very much some of these will be playing, but we'll have a look though. I mean, our youngster is not that far off stats from him actually, to be honest. Will Keane looks striker wise, or cam, preferred cam. Can he play striker? He can. 14 finishing, pace isn't too bad at all. Brad Potts, now again winger maybe, midfield, and quite versatile actually, isn't he, at 30 years old. Let's have a look at the other end. So we have brought some players in on loan, like Kane, Kessler, Hayden. If they help us to get to the Premiership, then I'm all for it. We'll try and utilise them. But he looks pretty decent as well, actually. Worth up to £11 million. Sam Greenwood, thought he might have been a striker. Again, looks pretty good. Again, physical's great. 22 years old, worth 15 million. But if we get up to the Premiership, maybe these players might come back. Lewis Gibson, 23-year-old. Yeah, looks all right as well, actually. Some of these players look very, very good. So if we look at our best player, so our best one is Milutin Osmajic from Montenegro. Wow, he looks good as well, actually. He's quite pacey, but acceleration a bit slow to start off with, but once he gets going, probably won't be able to stop him. 6'1" as well. Ben Whiteman, 28 years old. We've got some experienced players in here, so I'm thinking DM or midfielders into a 4-2-3-1 possibly. And our most highest potential, in fact we've got 2. Hayden there, he's on loan, and Sam Greenwood. So the 2 players at the highest potential are not our players, unfortunately. When we've got a 27-year-old goalkeeper, Freddie. Yeah, looks okay. Don't know how they'll do if they get into the Premiership though, to be honest. What else we got? Will Keane we had a look at. Jep Ockels from Denmark, winger. Pace, acceleration, sort of cross, and he can dribble as well. I mean, they are pretty decent, and I don't think we're lacking, that's for sure. Right, let's see if we can sort out a formation, and we'll be straight back. So for our first season then in the Championship, which I believe could see us through to promotion with any luck. Ideally would like to say 1 season in here while our players develop and we sort out our loanees and what have you. But we're going to lock a few players in. The first one is going to be Rodriguez Gentil. He's coming from our youth academy, 17 years old. Ignore them stats and arrows going down. But I think there's something in here. And with great potential, he's more likely to play as a poacher, but we're sticking him as a DLF. He scored 5 goals in 6 games for us already, so I'm hoping that is going to skyrocket, and he is one of our own as well. We're also going to lock in Osmajic on the left-hand side again. Another great potential, 25 years old. He probably is classed as a striker, but he's got good pace, good natural fitness. He can cross the ball, good finishing at the same time. I think he's more suited to the left-hand side. And our defence, we're going to lock in Magoma. He is actually on loan to us. I'm hoping to bring him in next season. He's 18 years old, worth £12 million. It would be nice to bring him in if we can, but we'll see what happens. But he's looking superb as well. Great potential. He was preferred as an inverted wing back, but doesn't seem to like that as much now. But I'm going to keep it as it is because it has worked, if you see the results in just a second. And then Gibson as well in the defence, 24 years old. Again, another high potential. Looks pretty decent as well. Results, there you go. Look at that. We have been dominating, and then it has been getting rather tight of late. But look at the teams we've been playing. West Brom, we smashed 3-1. We also beat Doncaster in the Carabao Cup 4-1. Sam Greenwood netting a brace, and Reese as well with a brace. Cardiff, we win 4-2. Rodriguez Gentil netting a brace for himself, so that's really good to see. Stoke, we win 1-0. Will Keane getting the winner, and Sam Greenwood netting the next couple of goals. Bristol City, where we win, and we lost to Swansea 2-1 away from home, and it was an own goal in the 86th minute, despite us taking the lead as well. So that's unfortunate. But Notts County get trounced by us. We beat them 6-1 with Gentile netting a hat-trick with 2 goals in the 90-plus minute. That is superb as well. So I'm hoping he's going to grow very, very quickly. We are 4th in the table, 4 wins from 5. 1 point off the leaders Burnley, and we've drawn Blackburn in the next round of the Carabao Cup, and also a season preview 13th. So we've jumped from relegation down here to mid-table at least anyway, and let's see if we can get to a playoff at least. Promotion would be nice, but preferably I'd rather stay in this division one more season while we get our team together. We have a superb finish to the season. We get ourselves right to the playoff final, which is fantastic. But unfortunately, despite taking a very early lead, Blackburn come late on in the game with 2 goals to finish us off 2-1 in the end. And we still stay in the Championship next season, which isn't a bad thing. As you can see, we gave them as good as we got, 18 shots to their 15. They did have a better XG than ourselves. Average ratings, they were slightly better. Probably deserved it on a whole, but disappointed not to hold on for another 5 minutes though. And we finished in 6th position, which isn't bad. I expected to be in the top 10 at least anyway. Playoffs would have been fantastic, but to get all the way to the final is not bad at all, which tells us where we are with the players that we have got. And some of the players have done us proud, especially locking in some of them youngsters like our forward. We'll see how he's done as well in just a second. But it is Burnley, Sheffield United and Blackburn who go up. We got knocked out in the FA Cup by Chelsea in the 3rd round 2-0, which isn't too bad. We could have got pounded there. And then we lost to Blackburn, who did us obviously in the playoff final. They beat us 3-0, so I don't think we fared well against Blackburn this season, which is a shame. Our squad, however, Sam Greenwood looks phenomenal. We just can't afford him at 1.15 million. I think we only had £1 million budget, and that has actually gone on Hayden, who is coming to our club in the July. But goal wise, 18 for Gentile, which isn't too bad actually for the youngster. 18 years old, he could be our star striker. Sam Greenwood accompanied him with 18 and 10. Our winger Milutin Osmajic, 15 and 7. Expected a few more assists. 13 and 4 for Reese as well. So I'm not too concerned about strikers because we have got Gentile, we have got Reese as well. I'm sure we got somebody else. If not, Will Keane. He did play 8 games from the start, scoring 4, helping out with 3 assists. Goalkeeper though, Freddie Woodman. Yeah, he conceded an awful lot of goals, but we'll be able to do something about it this season, I think. And Ockles didn't get any game time whatsoever, and that's because we locked in Milutin. So maybe that might have been a bad move. So going into next season, which is about £1 million, and we have spent that on the Hayden coming back to the club, but we have got to reduce our wages somewhat because it is overspent currently. We have got 3 million in the bank. We need to get promotion hopefully this season. So our transfer window was good fun once again. We do manage to move along a couple of players, some older players. We lost Patrick Bauer, Best, Moeen and Story, all for a sum of £725,000, which is pretty decent actually. It did increase our budget, but we didn't really spend it because we moved it all into wages because we brought in some players on a free. Kane Kessler Hayden from Aston Villa for £1 million. He was on loan with us last season. 14 assists he brought in. He looks very good, and at 22 years old, definitely one for our future here. Hopefully he'll be still here when we lift the Premier League. We also bring in Marcus McGuane on a free transfer. Midfielder, DM, central midfield. Again, another decent player to fill in the midfield. And Fernie Distil, again free. Right back, a cover, because I think Hayden will move over to the left hand side. I think that's his strongest position, so if that's the case, then Graham will come into the right hand side. We also bring in Dogukan Cynic, a winger, can play anywhere, cam and either side, so another good a player to have in, quite versatile. Also we bring in Akin Firmino, another central defender. I realised we didn't have a full squad, We were around about the 20 when we released quite a lot of players out of contract they didn't want to renew, and a couple of older players would go as well. So we're just filling out the ranks here. To be honest, 26 years old looks pretty solid as well. At least help us to get to the Premiership. We are now going to use a formation I've used with Bournemouth a couple of weeks back, which I found very, very strong. And we used it with Armenia last week as well, which did wonders in the last season. It really helped us a lot. We're locking in Gentile, 18 years old now. Still a lot of potential. I just want to really unleash and see what happens when he gets time on his own this time. See if he's good enough. If not, then we will have to look elsewhere. But I am invested in this youngster. But if we pick our best 11, the side doesn't look that bad at all. He does come out of it. Cynic comes in. Okil comes on the right. Got Whiteman, McCann. A majority of our signings do fit in. And we haven't started off too badly either. We started off with a win against Portsmouth for 3-0. Then we beat County again. I think we beat County last season in the Carabao. This time we beat them 2-0. Sheffield Wednesday we win 3-0. Birmingham we win 3-0. Gentile getting goals left, right and centre. Swansea inflict our first loss with a 1-0 scoreline after 13 minutes. Sunderland get put aside with a 3-0 victory. Then a surprising loss to Lincoln at home as well after penalties. Despite going behind, we did manage to get back through Gentile. We just couldn't pick it up after that. Very disappointed to not go any further, but the Cups aren't our main concern this season. And Coventry, we lost 3-2 despite fighting back from 3-0 down. We are currently lying in third position. I'm very happy with that. Top two go up. The rest go into a playoff. I'd like to see if we can get automatic, but we are up against Forest, Southampton and Bournemouth, who came down from last season. And if we have a look at our season preview, 16th, 50-1, which is not surprising because some of these clubs are massive. So let's jump into season 2 and see where that'll bring us. Well, we've done it, boys and girls. We have gained promotion to the Premiership, and this is where the hard work will start. 8 losses this season, 86 points. We're some way behind Forest though, who absolutely battered everybody really. 20 points, 18 points in it in the end or something like that. 16 even, 31 victories. We lost 8 games to Forest once. So did we inflict a defeat on Forest? No, we didn't. Did we draw with them? We drew with them the other time then. Derby go up with us as well. We managed to beat the likes of Leeds, Bournemouth. Southampton dropped to 9th position, but I'm really, really happy about that. That is some going. There's Derby winning on penalties against Leeds actually in the final. We don't have anybody in the top tiers apart from Whiteman, 7.31. Anybody else? I don't think there is. Oh, he does pick up 18 assists. Goodness me. Competitions, 4th round we lost to Leeds 2-1 away from home, and the 2nd round by Lincoln, which we know about. Our squad, however, let's have a look. 23 goals in for Gentile. Doesn't seem to be improving an awful lot, and I don't think his current ability or his potential has actually gone up at all. That's slightly worrying. I know he's only 19. Maybe that'll go up now, possibly, but I don't think that sort of thing will cut it in the Premiership, unfortunately. I was hoping he'd be at least a 3-star by now. Although he has scored 23 goals, 15 and 10 then for Fractier. 13 and 7 for Ockles, 18 assists for Whiteman, excellent, and 10 for Cynic. How did Hayden do? He was our other defender, left back, wasn't he? I think he played 7 assists. That's not too bad, and a goalkeeper. That's an improvement. 66 goals conceded, 14 clean sheets, and there's only one player that didn't get any game time, and that's Stewart. So going into next season, we need some money. 36, just under 37 million pounds. That's pretty good, considering we've only got just under £6 million in the bank. I don't know how that's going to happen, but we need to survive our first season, that's for sure. So just a couple of players leaving the club. Will Keane and Brad Potts, they all leave on a free transfer. They didn't want to sign a new contract, unbelievably, considering we are now in the Premiership. But we do manage to make a couple of signings with the budget that we did have with that, and contract renewals as well. It didn't leave that much, but we still managed to spend some money. At the end of last season, we bring in Rabbi Matondo, a right winger, I think, or left winger actually, can play either side superbly. Winger on attack, fantastic pace and acceleration. unbelievable stats there. I mean, there's a lot to be desired, but some of the stuff that he has got is pretty high. We also bring in Armel Bella Kochap from Southampton, £5 million. Again, another defender that I have used in the past, and I think he was quite pretty good, actually, to be fair. He's got good strength, the jumping, physicals look really good apart from fitness, but we can always work on that. He is only 24 years old, but he can mark and head the ball and tackle, so that's all you want really in a defender. From Watford, £9.5 million, we bring in João Ferreira, a right back. We were rather shy on that side, so we had to bring somebody else, and he can play anywhere along the back line as well, so that's going to come out pretty handy. We also bring in Jose Marsa from Mechelen for £5.5 million, a DM or a centre back. Very, very good, very cheap, a year left on his contract, and he was quite happy to come to us. And then one of my favourite strikers who you can get on a cheap, we're 3 seasons in now, £5.5 million from Frosinone. I mean, I'm not being funny, that is ludicrous. It's daylight robbery. We are literally stealing him off them. £5.5 million for this striker. I was looking for another striker, and I know we have Gentile. He's just not going to cut it for the Premiership. I don't think. We're hoping to send him out on loan. Again, these stats just speak for themselves. Apart from long throw, marking and tackling, everything else is in double digits. Oh, I'm probably positioning, which is probably quite important really when you want somebody to be in the right place at the right time. But 24 years old, never fails in any rebuild I've done. So it may be that if he doesn't develop, then we go and get somebody else. But for what we could afford, I'm not complaining at all. We also bring in from Venezia for £850,000. I realise we only had one goalkeeper. We bring in Alessandro Plizzari. Looks pretty decent, actually. Whether or not he's actually going to take over as number one, but one-on-ones look really good. Reflexes, fantastic. Aerial reach, jumping. Yeah, I think he could be our number one, actually, to be fair. 26 years old as well. And Gentile, he has gone out on loan. He's currently at Portsmouth, I think. Yeah, we've loaned him out there, so hopefully he'll get some game time. He looks pretty good still. Still a lot of potential. I'm just hoping he will grow. If not, then it's probably a waste of talent. But we're going to keep him out on loan for the time being and see what happens. I really do want him to come back to the club and hopefully lift that Premiership title when we eventually get there. So tactically, we are switching up a little bit. We are using a formation I've used with Union Berlin. It seems to be my go-to recently if we want to survive our first season. We're going to lock in Esposito. I want him to get the game time. If we pick our best 11, he probably stays there. He does. And the side, it does look like this. Our signings do all come in, apart from the goalkeeper, which I'm quite surprised Woodman is still number one. But fair dues to him. If he can keep that up and do pretty well. He's played 4 games already, so that's pretty decent. And we've had 3 goals for our Cam player already, and Esposito has got 1 to his name so far. And the results might shock you. Already in the Premiership, although we haven't really played anybody of top caliber, that's going to come next month, but we played Blackburn, we beat them at 2-1. Esposito getting on the board in the 96th minute equaliser before we go ahead and win it in the 99th. That was a good, nice little victory. Derby, we drew 0-0 at home, disappointing. Lincoln, we thrashed. We seem to come up against them in the cup competitions quite earlier on, quite often, and we always seem to come unstuck against them. And then Forest, we had a good 1-0 victory, 87th minute winner there, despite playing against 10 men. And we've drawn Crewe in the 3rd round of the Carabao Cup as well. We are currently lying in 3rd position. I'll take that snapshot there and then. I'm under no illusion we are going to be staying there, especially in our first season, but we couldn't though, could we? And we have done it. We've remained in the Premiership for at least another season. We finished in 12th position. In fact, we finished 20 points ahead of relegation, which is really good. In fact, there's a massive gap between 18th and 17th, despite the bottom clubs not having a win in the last 5 games. That's all 4 of them. Wow. Ourselves, however, we lost our 3 last games, but 13 wins isn't too bad. Considering the start we had, I'm disappointed, but also at the same time, I'm ecstatic that we have managed to survive. Competition-wise, we did get knocked out in the 4th round by West Ham in the FA Cup. 3-1. That's a huge defeat. And the Carabao Cup, we got ourselves all the way up to the semi-finals, losing 5-3 to Sunderland over the 2 legs. Man City beating Liverpool on penalties, and the winner going to Man City over Sunderland. But the quarter-finals, we did beat Bolton 3-1. 4th round, we played Blackburn. We battered them 4-1. 3rd round, 3-0 against Crewe. Did we play any more than that? Oh, we did. 6-1 against Lincoln. So we had a pretty good running, actually, not playing any of the top teams, but coming unstuck against Sunderland, which is a little bit of a disappointment. But it's a good cup run all the same, and you can see our league form. We were near the top. In fact, we were in 1st position at one point, and then we dropped ourselves all the way down the table to 14th. Well, is it as low as 14th? And then got ourselves back up to 12th. So again, not bad positioning, which I said before means more money. Squad-wise, let's have a look. What we got? 23 goals then for Esposito in 44 games, not bad at all. 18 for Frokjer as well with 6 assists. 9 and 8 for Ockles. We've got Cynic with 6 and 2. He was our winger. That's awful. That is an awful return. But saying that, he only had 5 stars. So who took his place? Ferreira 5 and 3, 5 and 0 for Reese, our other striker. We only had 2 starts, man. 18 assists for Matondo. 83 conceded by a goalkeeper. That's awful, isn't it? Maybe we give our other goalkeeper a chance. Woodman is 30 now. He should be in his prime, but that's an awful lot of goals to concede. Hayden did well. 4 assists. It's not an awful lot, though, to be fair. We might give Plazzari a run out next season, possibly. He's young enough. Not worth more, I don't think. Woodman's worth 26 million, apparently. Wow. I mean, other than that, everybody has been involved. There's only a couple of players that didn't get any game time. Gentile, how did he do? He didn't get any game time at all, and he doesn't seem to be improving much either. Maybe we give him another season on loan somewhere. Hopefully give him the game time. But he is only 20. I just don't think he's going to improve that much more, I don't think. At all. I'm disappointed by his loan spell, though, it has to be said. So financials, £45 million going into next season. We can definitely bring in a few more players to bolster our squad, at least anyway. And we've got about another 40,000 a week on wages as well. 55 in the bank, so that's not too bad as well. So as long as we keep within budget. Right, let's see if we can spend this and improve our side. So once again, we start by releasing a couple of players. Liam Lindsay and Ledson have both left the club, getting into the 30s, so it was wise to let them go and release some of the wages budget also. Also, we let go of Pawderson as well. He wasn't really getting much game time, so we let him go on a free as well. So a 28-year-old defender there. So for the players that we brought in, £32 million spent. Again, a lot of them going on wage renewals. We bring in David Ozo from Crystal Palace, £22 million. Our main signing this season, a DM, can play midfield as well. Looks pretty decent. A lot of experience in the Premiership as well. Only 22 years old as well. So yeah, very, very good stats. Very happy to have him, and got good potential also. We bring in Jorginho Rutter from Brighton, £3.9 million. A year left on his contract. We decided to snap him up. He can play in the cam position, of which he will be playing just behind Esposito. We also bring in Kuzanov from Manchester City for £6.5 million, a defender. And I think we're actually going to be locking him this season. So sticking with the same formation. Plazzari, the goalkeeper, we're going to lock him in this season, see how well he does. Kuzanov also with Ozo and Jorginho Rutter. They're all going to be locked in, and hopefully they will develop. Results have been kind to us. Fulham, we win 4-3. Esposito getting a brace, getting the winner in the 96th minute, I think it was, after Marsa got an equaliser in the 91st. Newcastle, we drew 2-2. Esposito on target once again, this time coming from 2-0 down, and we get away with a draw. Liverpool was another great result. Again, 1-0 down coming into the last 20 minutes. We go ahead, and it's Ketelaere for Liverpool that equalised in the 86th. Coventry we beat in the Carabao second round with a 2-1 victory. Rutter and Frockier obviously sharing that cam position, and Ipswich gets smashed 5-2 at home. Esposito with 1, Whiteman as well. A lot of late goals at the end of each half. We've got Aston Villa in the next round of the Carabao, and we've got Spurs, Manchester United and Chelsea up next. That's going to be a tough run. We are currently lying in 4th position, unbeaten, which is where I would like to see us. Again, I'm aiming for a top half finish. We can only improve on last season. And if we take a look at our predictions for this season, wow, it's worse. Okay, we're definitely going to be defying them odds, that's for sure. So let's jump into season 4 and let's see if we can cause a commotion. It's another cracking season, and we finish in 9th position, so 3 places up from last season, and we just miss out on a European spot, would you believe? Forest steal that last one in 8th position, 2 points, that's all it is, and we end up with a plus goal difference as well, which is very, very good indeed. So we're heading in the right direction, which is always good to see. Esposito 25, second highest goal scorer in the league, 5 behind Haaland. Rutter 13 assists, joint top, and Ferreira 13 yellow cards. Excellent stuff. Competitions, semi-finals in the Carabao again, unbelievable. Are we going to get to a final at some point? We lose 4-3 despite winning the second leg 2-1. Spurs face Liverpool in the final, and it's actually Liverpool that take it, but that is unfortunate. Really. The third round by Sunderland beat us in the cup competition yet again. Last season it was the semi-finals for the Carabao, and now the beat us in the FA Cup 2-1. A good showing in the Carabao Cup, which is probably one of the hardest competitions to win, but it seems to be like we're making it quite easy to get to this one part. We just need to get past that semi-final bit and we may find ourselves with a trophy. Squad wise, 25 goals for Esposito in total, 3 assists. Did he not play in the cup competitions then? 15 and 4 for Ockles, 7 and 8 for Matondo. We've got Reese, the other striker, 6 goals in his 3 starts, 10 off the bench, which isn't too bad actually. Nice to have as a backup, but we could probably do with another striker. 13 for Rutter, assists that is, 5 goals, 7 assists for Hayden, which seems to be coming down a little bit. Kusanov, 1 goal in his 37, looks pretty decent now as well. Plizzari, the goalkeeper, 67 conceded in 43. That's not bad either. And Gentile, he didn't manage to get out on loan at all. I think we'll end up offloading him. He just doesn't seem to have improved any way, shape or form. But there's a few places that we probably could improve, and to do that we need money once more. So what are they going to be offering? 53, nearly 54 million pounds. We've got nearly 100 million in the bank, which is good. An increase in the wages budget also. And I think we can definitely improve this side with a couple of more signings and improve our positioning for next season now as well. So we'll start season 5 with some of the people we've released already. Leighton Stewart's gone, Holmes and Fenewo. They've all been released in the late 20s, early 30s. Not getting much game time and not being really developed that much now. We also let on loan Gentile. He's gone to Carlisle this time with the important status, so he should be getting the game time with Carlisle. Hopefully we'll see some improvement that we'll have him back at some point. Josh Surrey, he's gone to Notts County for a fee of up to £74,000, and we also lose Jack Watmo. He's gone to Bristol City for up to 190,000. So not much money there, but the players that we have got, we renewed, and I'm quite happy with what we have, and then we've just added additional players to bolster our squad. First up is Patrick Dorgu. In the game, he's not gone to Manchester United, so went to Celtic. They bought him for about 7 and then we picked him up. He looks fantastic. To take over from Hayden on that left-hand side. Hayden seems to have dropped a little bit, but he's going to be there as a backup. But Hayden can play on both sides. But Dorgu looks very, very good indeed. 23 years old as well. We also bring in Mohamed Darami from Reims. £25 million to play on that left-hand side. Our strike force now looks absolutely amazing. But look at that. 17 dribbling, pace and acceleration and agility. He's got a good balance. Technique, yeah, I'm very excited to see if we can get more goals this time round. Adam Wharton we bring in from Crystal Palace for £8.5 million. The youngster, again, heard so many good things about him. Great potential, looks pretty good at 24 years old to sit in the DM position as a DLP. We're just changing that position to suit him really, but again, hopefully he'll be here for the duration. We also bring in Aaron Connolly on a free, another striker, 28 years old, just somebody with a bit of experience that can put the ball in the back of the net and can deputise for Esposito if he gets injured. So we are going to be locking in a couple of players because I don't want them drifting from their positions. If we pick our best 11, it looks like this. They actually stay in their positions apart from Kochap, who's come out for Gibson. Not exactly ecstatic about that one, I can tell you. And it's gone reasonably well. I'm not going to complain one little bit. We're into the 4th round of the Carabao Cup. We beat Stoke and Oxford quite convincingly on both ties. And then we started the campaign against Southampton with a 3-1 victory. Bournemouth 1-0. Leeds 3-0. And Wolves 3-2. Quite difficult teams to get past, but we have come past them with flying colours. We are currently lying in 2nd position, right behind Manchester United on goal difference, so long may that continue, and I'm expecting this season to get a little bit closer to Europe and maybe get a European spot, which would be amazing for this club. But if we look at our prediction, we are predicted now to finish 18th, 400 to 1 to win the league. So I'm guessing we could end up in that top half once again. So let's jump into season 5 and let's see if we can get that elusive European spot this season. Well, we are definitely slowly but surely climbing this table. We are now into the top 6 and we have got European football next season, which is absolutely fantastic. And Europa League football at that. Not the Conference League, the Europa League. And we finish above Arsenal and Villa, Liverpool as well. Goodness me, what happened to them this season? 14 losses. Towards the end though, we did drop 2 losses and a draw. So that's 8 points. That could have given us a 4th place finish. That is really, really close on the lads. 88 goals scored, 61 conceded. We are conceding an awful lot, which probably begs the question. We need to go out there and get a world-class goalkeeper now, I think, just to stop the goals going in, and could be just the odd shots in every game going in. If we stop then that will improve our losses as well. But 88 goals scored, that is, in fact, that is the most in the league as well. Let's just double check. Yeah, we have scored the most in the league, and as well as against back mid-table. Okay, that's fair enough, but I'm really ecstatic about that. European football coming to Preston next season. Esposito gets the golden boot ahead of Haaland this season by clear 9 goals as well. He also gets 7.36 with Wharton. Wharton got the most assists in the league, just ahead of Matondo as well. We'll start off with the Carabao, and it's another semi-final defeat. This time by Newcastle, 3-2, a 2-1 first leg loss, followed by a 1-1 draw. That is so unfortunate. We would have gone on to play Spurs. Spurs won in extra time, so we didn't even lose to the eventual winners. What a disappointment. And the FA Cup, yeah, we don't seem to be doing too well in that one. Losing 3-1 away at Liverpool. Squad, if we have a look at the players that we locked in, I thought we locked in another one in there. We've lost somebody. Kusanov. He's gone to Leipzig for £28 million. He went the 1st of February. Wow, deadline day. Unbelievable. We lost our one of our top defenders. And I bet they didn't even add that onto our budget as well. That is so annoying. Oh well, so Wharton does really well. He's progressing quite well. He's got potential of 170. Flipping it. That's really 10 and 19 for the lad. Rutter, 10 and 10. 6-0 for catch up. Goals, 36 goals overall then for Esposito. Darami, 18 and 7. Excellent. Our front line is spot on. We are not doing anything with that at all. And Matondo, 13 assists with his 8 goals. And Ozoa as well, 11. So from midfield going forward, we've done remarkably well. Plazari, our goalkeeper, well, he wasn't our number 1. It was Woodman. Unless Plazari took a injury, he only had 4 games, conceding 8. Well, that explains a lot. So we will have to go into the market for a goalkeeper, that's for sure. and definitely fill out some of these places where we are lacking somewhat. But other than that, it's a really good season once again. But going into the season, £58 million to spend. We need a goalkeeper, that is for sure. So season 6 is upon us, and a few more free players go out. Whiteman, he's gone. Riss as well, and Cynic into their 30s. We didn't really want to give them another contract, at least another year anyway. They were just stopping development of the younger players. So off they go, and plus it released some of the wages budget as well. However, we lost another player. So we lost our defender in the February, and now we've lost our other defender. Catch-up has gone to Sporting for £19.5 million. Absolutely gutted. A release clause was met, £19.5 million. We do make a tidy profit on him. Very unfortunate to let him go, but it did bump up our transfer kitty to enable us to bring in the following players. First up, from Marseille, we bring in Sazonov, £5.5 million, a defender, a straight replacement, 27 years old, can fit into that role quite easily. We bring in Valentin Gomez from Genoa, £12.5 million, another centre back, can play left back as well actually, very well rounded, and at only 26 years old as well. We spend £4.8 million from Red Star Belgrade for Stojanovic Konstantin, 19 years old, again another centre back. We're bringing these younger players in. I'm thinking he is getting some game time actually, because he's got amples of potential. Also from Dinamo, £8.5 million, we bring in Gorga Colonia, goalkeeper. I think he is actually going to be our number one this season. 19 years old, bags of potential, ever rising, good kicking, he's got good one-on-ones, reflexes are excellent, determination's 19, he can jump, he's got aerial, he's fantastic. So yeah, he's going to be our number one for this season. Hopefully he'll improve up to his potential very quickly. He's worth £57 million already. Wow. And finally from Bournemouth, Alex Scott to sit in the DM role, £38 million. He can play cam, midfield or DM, but we are playing DM, so that's where he will be sitting. So as you can see, we're locking a couple of players in, Scott, Wharton and Colonia. If we pick our best 11, they might stay there. Scott moves into the cam position, Ozo comes in, but you can see Stanovic, Gomez, our goalkeeper, fitting in quite nicely. And once again, we've had an unbeaten friendlies and the start of the season. We're into the 4th round of the Carabao after beating Middlesbrough 3-1. Brighton, we thrash 4-0, first game of the season. Palace 0-0, Ipswich 3-0. Up to that point we hadn't conceded a goal, and then Newcastle 3-3. Disappointing to concede there, but as you can see, we were 3-0 up, and then within 10 minutes in the second half, it was 3-3. Absolutely gut-wrenching. 3-0 up. Unbelievable. The Europa League, we've got Shakhtar, VTSC, Trava, Olympiacos, Victoria Plzen, and Zrinski as well, and AZ and Lazio. So I'm hoping to go through this group stage. I think we've good enough to do that, and we've got Chelsea in the next round of the Carabao, so that's going to be a good tie as well. We are lying 4th in the league at the moment. 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 points off the leaders Arsenal, and we are predicted 18th in the Europa League, so that's kind of good as well. So if we look at our preview for this season, don't know whether that's dropped or not, but it is now 300 to 1 to win the league, so we are visibly getting better. So let's jump into season 6 and let's see how much effort it is to be in Europe. Season 6, position 6th. We're back in the top 6 and we're back in a European spot, which means with it being Europa League, we didn't win the Europa League this time around. So it'll be interesting to see how far we got. I think we got slightly less points than last season. I think we got 70 for 4 wins in the last 5 games and a loss in there. It's not too bad. We're only a few points off 4th spot. Leicester. Wow, there's a shocker, and even more of a shock is Tottenham win the league with 7 losses as well. Did we beat them at all? Probably not, no. But 73 goals, that's a lot less than last season, I know that, but we have conceded less than last season also, so that is a good sign. Esposito, 23 goals, 3 off Haaland's this time round, so not as much as last season, but he's still up there or thereabouts. Competitions though, wow, look at that. Europa League semi-final. Wow, 5-3 loss in the second leg, 7-5 overall. So we had a draw in the first leg and they get smashed in the second leg. It's unfortunate, but it's probably expected. We've got Forest and Lazio, but it looks like an All-England final anyway. So who did go on to win it? It was Arsenal, so we did lose to the eventual winners. But if we have a look at the league phase, we finished third. Only the one loss against Lazio. 32 goals we scored. Goodness me. AZ 7. And Olympiacos 7. We did score an awful lot of goals and only conceded 10 as well, which is pretty good. So straight into the round of 16 where we played Valencia and beat them 6-2. 2 lots of 3-1. Quarters, we beat Schalke 5-1 and then Arsenal 7-5. Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm upset. I expect us to go through, but what are Arsenal doing in the Europa League? Come on. At least they'll be going into the Champions League next season. FA Cup, we bow out by Everton 1-0 away from home, and the Carabao Cup, we don't make the semi-finals because we obviously sacrificed it in the Europa League. We lost in the fourth round to Chelsea 2-0. So there, the domestic competitions we are struggling to lift, but we are sacrificing it all to get a bit higher in the league, of which we may need to rethink a few things. Our squad, let's have a quick look then. If you look by goals, 31 goals there for Esposito, 6 assists, 23 and 15 for Dorama. We've got Rutto with 21 and 9, 15 and 15 for Matondo, which is pretty good as well actually. He looks like he's dropped off a little bit as well. 9 and 20 for Wharton. Wow, from the DM position. That is phenomenal. Sazanoff 5 and 1. We've got Alex Scott 4 and 3. Maybe we need to push them up into midfield as opposed to DM. Let them run riot a little bit. And the goalkeeper, how did he do? 76 conceded and 54. That's a lot. But he's still only young and he has improved a fair bit as well, I think. I think the formation change is probably needed at this point. So we'll have to have a look into that. But finances, back into the Europa League. And £62 million this time around to go and strengthen our squad. So not sure if I mentioned it in the last season. We lost João Ferreira. He went in the January to Benfica for £18.75 million. So another release clause met. I really do need to look at these contracts more closely, I feel. But going on to this season, we do lose a couple more players, and more notably, David Ozoa. He's gone to Everton for 32 up to £35 million. A good deal, actually. He is 25 years old. He did get some game time, but I think we have got better players in now. Ockles has gone to Vitesse up to 8.5, and Woodman, the other goalkeeper, our third choice, actually, this time round. Derby for 3.3, and we lose our Cam Froxier. He's gone to Copenhagen for 1.3. So a little bit of movement. Gentile has gone back out on loan. He's not really improving, but I'm determined to see what does happen when he does come back. Hopefully he will have scored a few more goals, but it's not how I envisaged this rebuild for him. So let's move on to the transfers in. We managed to spend £87 million, £23 million from Leverkusen for Alfredo Morgado, a striker, a young striker, 20 years old, looks really, really good. He's going to be challenging Esposito in that forward role, and to be perfectly honest, I think he'll probably take over eventually. Next up is Freddy Del Rello from Cruz Azul for £11.5 million, 20 years old. We needed a replacement for Ferreira, and I think we got somebody that's even better. 20 years old. Look at them stats. That's amazing. Next up is Keo Bedushi from Nice. I took a punt on him, £1.2 million, and you can see why. He looked like he had a lot of potential, and then when we got him in, I think for a backup, he'll do all right. And for 1.2, like I say, we'd probably sell him on and make probably about £5 million on him. So that's a good bit of business if we can get it. Next up from Racing Club, £14.5 million is Hector Roca, a right winger. Again, another phenomenal player. 21 years old. He's going to hopefully make that position his own, and he looks pretty decent as well, actually. We also, from Leipzig, is Niels Dietz, £15 million, a midfielder. Can play up top as well, actually. So he's going to be pretty much a great all-rounder in them three positions. 6'2", got good jump in, Not so hot on heading though, unfortunately. Next is from River Plate, £8.5 million, Franco Mostantuono, or we'll just call him Franco, a cam player, winger. He's very, very versatile up top, so he can fill in if anywhere looks weak. But look at them stats. Wow. 23 years old. Our scouts have been doing a phenomenal job. And next up from VDG, £13 million. I think this was just, we had some money left. I didn't want to not spend it. And I still think we don't spend all of it anyway. But a DM player, 21 years old, can play midfield, cam, right wing as well. So yeah, again, another very, very good young talent there as well. So we're changing the formation up a little bit. We're going to see if we can go a little bit more attacking. If we pick our best 11 at the moment, it changes all around everywhere. And there's no Esposito up top, which I find really, really strange. But as you can see, the side is changing all the time. And with that, the results have been going pretty well. The friendlies went without a hitch. Everybody scoring goals. We started off against Forest with a 4-4 draw in that game. A 95th minute equaliser from Esposito to level things up. 2-0 against West Ham, which is a pretty good result. Esposito amongst the scorers there again. And Aston Villa 3-2 of Esposito once more getting amongst the goals. The Europa League, we have got Salzburg, Schalke, AZ, Galatasaray, Young Boys, Villarreal, Feyenoord and Lyon. I'm hoping we can go that one step further and get ourselves into a final this time round. I think we definitely have the side to do it. We are currently lying in 5th position, which is pretty good. I'm really happy with that. 2 points off the leaders, Man City, who are 3 for 3. We are predicted around about 20th in the Europa League, and we've drawn Brentford in the next round of the Carabao Cup. And if we have a look at our predictions, we're in the top 10. We've made it to the top 10, 50-1 now to win the league. We are almost up there. A couple of more seasons, and I feel like we should be challenging for the title at that point. We have got Del Rello, though, in the Dream 11, which is absolutely fantastic. Can't believe we've managed to get somebody in there. What a player. Right, let's move on to season 7, I think it is. And let's see if we can challenge top 6 or thereabouts. We are sneaking up that Premiership table, that is for sure. We finish in 5th position, another leap into winning our first title since the 1800s. I'm really, really pleased for the lads. And we only lost 4 games. Newcastle, Arsenal, Spurs and Man City. In fact, they were the teams that finished above us. But 4 losses, 103 goals scored as well. That is absolutely amazing. 64 conceded on the most side, but it doesn't really matter when you score 103 goals. 80 points as well. As you can see, we dropped 4 points in the last 5 games as well, which could have seen us into 4th spot even. And to top it off, we have got a Champions League spot as well. What a season. Everton go down, in fact. Haaland, Golden Boot. Esposito, despite having players coming in trying to take his spot, he gets 25 goals, 9 behind Haaland, but he's up there or thereabouts. Evan Ferguson, 767. Haaland. Yeah, we're nowhere near there either, are we? Rello, 15 yellow cards, 12 for Dorgu, and Mastanu gets 14 assists as well, which is pretty good for his first season. But we do get to a final finally, and we take the Europa League. Preston North End, champions of Europe. We beat Schalke in the final. We go 3-0 up with about 7 minutes to spare until we throw it almost away. The third goal just coming in. Darami on the left-hand side, and it takes a deflection, goes straight in. They got Gerberhardt in goal, actually. And but it is a late surgence from Schalke in the end, making it very, very uneasy. That's 3-1 and then 3-2 going into the 90-plus minute as well. But it is a Europa League European trophy for Preston. The league phase, we did finish top of the group as well with 7 wins, 1 draw, so we're unbeaten. Feyenoord we thrashed 6-1, Young Boys 5-1, Galatasaray, and we beat Schalke in the group stage as well. Straight to the round of 16 where we beat Braga 6-3. Quarters, we beat Rangers 6-1, wow. Semi-finals, we just got past Brighton 7-4. thanks to a 5-2 second leg victory where Schalke get past Bilbao on penalties. That is phenomenal. Our first trophy in this rebuild, and it's only taken 7 seasons. The FA Cup, still no better. 5th round by Leicester, 2-0. Man City battered Coventry 7-2. Wow. But yeah, Leicester dump us out of the cup. And we get as far as the quarterfinals in the Carabao, which we're destined not to win. Forest beating us on penalties after a 1-1 draw at home. 38 goals for Esposito. Franco weighs in with 23 and 22. Goodness me. Durrami 20 and 18. Alex Scott 16 and 14. Rocker 12 and 17. Wharton 10 and 13. 10 and 11 for Rutter. Goodness me. That is insane. And our back line isn't that bad either. Rello 8 assists. We've got Stojanovic 6 and 5. Dorgu 8 assists as well. Our goalkeeper only conceded 67 and 45. That's pretty good. Pellizzari, he did play 14 games. 18 conceded. That's not bad either though. 6 clean sheets. I'm more disappointed we're not getting the clean sheets. So if we have enough money, maybe we go for a world-class goalkeeper just to stop them goals going in and turn them draws and losses into wins. But that is a phenomenal season though. Absolutely brilliant. So next season we've been given 70 million. Now we're in the Champions League. We've got 112 in the bank and we're not much in wages budget either, so we'll have to adjust that as well. So we may have just slightly less than 70. Again, I think another couple of players could definitely improve this side again and maybe stake a claim on this Premiership title. So starting with the outs, just £7 million leaving the club. Connolly's gone to Palermo for 4.2 and we lose Lewis Gibson to Southampton for 2.4. We did manage to bring a couple players in. We still managed to spend £72 million though. And 62 of that was spent on this left back. Dorgu's playing well, but he's dropping off quite considerably. 21-year-old Jesus Asperuya. He looks wicked. He really does. Bags of potential still. He's ever growing and he looks absolutely superb. The sort of player we can bring in and keep. £62 million paid and he's worth up to 122 million already. Absolutely superb. I mean, some of them stats you just cannot find a fault in. And then we had a little bit of money left from the sale of Gibson and Connolly, and we managed to bring in Jamie Aravina from SAN for £10 million, just a backup defender. Good potential. He's got anticipation, bravery, determination very high, tackling also. Somebody can just come in and do a job for us. So we're not locking anybody in, but we are pushing our midfielders now into midfield. We're still going to have a DLP on defend with an AP, so I'm assuming Wharton and Alex Scott are still going to be playing in the midfield. But if we pick our best 11, this is what we have. Scott and Wharton are still in there. They look phenomenal, and I'm hoping we're going to keep him there. The early positions where we are kind of weak at is probably the goalkeeper, the 2 centre-backs and the striker. But Jorginho's in there. Not sure why he is. But Esposito, why is he not playing? He should be straight on that sheet already. He scored 7 goals for us in 5 games already. In fact, our front line, even our left back has scored a goal. And I do feel it in my waters that this season could be the season where something happens. And you'll see straight away there, 6-3 victory over Barcelona in the UEFA Super Cup. Wow. I mean, Esposito scores a hat-trick. It's just phenomenal. We outplayed Barcelona. That is amazing. 6-3. Brilliant. The first game of the season was against Brentford. 5-2, and that's after beating PSV 10-1 in a friendly. How better can this get? Esposito coming off the bench to score a goal, or did he play? He might have scored a goal actually. He might have been starting, but it feels like he was off the bench. Norwich, we only just got past 1-0, Esposito penalty. Manchester United, we thrashed at Old Trafford. Esposito with a brace, 5-1. Chelsea, we even won with 2 goals in 2 minutes from Hector Roca for a 2-1 victory. The signs are there. We've got Chelsea in the next round in the Carabao Cup, which we've got next. The Champions League, Monaco, Sparta Prague. We've got this Eurosam Club Challenge. Do we really need to play that? I don't know. Is that instead of the World Club Championships? I don't know. Nice. We've got Arsenal, Celtic, Valencia, with Dortmund and Bayern coming up the rear. That's going to be quite hard to get out of, but I'm more concerned with winning the league. That is the priority. We are top of the table, 4 for 4 with Newcastle at the moment. That's probably the best we've had so far. 24th position predicted in the Champions League. There's the winning the UEFA Super Cup, and there's Chelsea in the Carabao. We're not started the FA Cup just yet. And if we have a look where we are predicted to finish this season, we've moved into 8th position, 25-1. We are getting closer. Rello up there. He's still our only Dream 11 player. Are there any players to watch? Rello, Rocker, excellent. And anybody else? I'm surprised. I'm very surprised. So let's delve into season 8, where we have Champions League football, and we've already got a trophy under our belts this season. We've only just gone and done it. Good things come to those who wait. 8 seasons in, and we finally get our hands on the Premiership title. In fact, it's a lot longer for Preston, about 140 years to be exact. What a long time in waiting. That is absolutely phenomenal stuff. 82 points as well. I think that's the highest haul as well. 2 points from Arsenal, 5 from Spurs. We're ahead of Man City by a bit as well. Man United. Wolves are in 6th position. Chelsea dropped to 8th. Liverpool in 7th. Wow, they have taken a massive drop, haven't they? But who cares? Preston are Premier League champions for the first time in 140 plus years. 4 losses: Chelsea, Norwich, Arsenal and Spurs, all without scoring a goal as well. A minimum of 2 goals in each game. Wow. But 88 goals scored, and we conceded our least in a season as well, 39. That is pretty good as well. 49 goal difference. We did score the most in the league, which is great stuff as well. Oh, I'm over the moon. I expected another season or 2, I have to admit, but I'll take it now, because this is where the video ends. Esposito, 21 goals, 3rd in the race for the Golden Boot. Darami, 7.38, 3rd in the average ratings. He also gets 12 assists as well. And a new signing, Jesus Asperua, 11 yellow cards. It wasn't the most though. Games without losing, 14. That's probably why we won the league. Form with the 3rd best on form. So if we have a look at our form in the league then, we didn't lose our first game until October, where we lost to Spurs. Then we went on another good run, beating Liverpool 4-0 in that game. Goodness me. We did show good signs right at the beginning as well, with a 5-1 victory over Manchester United, and then beating Chelsea and beating Man City in the September. 4-1 at Leicester, 5-0 Blackburn, 5-1 Wolves, 5-2 Leeds. We have been putting it away. We do lose the odd game. We had a little bit of a spat in the December-January time where we lost 3 games, but we did get wins either side. 6-0 win over Brentford there. And I think it may have been there where we've gone unbeaten. It's a lot of games. 5-1 over Blackburn, 4-0 Leeds, 3-3 last game of the season. Did we draw with Forest at the beginning of the season as well? Thought we may have done. It might have been the previous season. But yeah, another high scoring game there as well. We've done really well. We beat Liverpool again in the league. Rocker getting the winner there. Cup competitions. This South American Cup, we got runners up. Not really interested, to be fair. Apart from the Super Cup, nothing else. That's disappointing. So, the Carabao, we lost to Leeds in the 4th round on penalties. Disappointing. FA Cup, we lost to Chelsea on penalties. There's a theme already. Let's have a look at this South American thing. On penalties to FDG. Great. So, it's 3. Did we lose to Leipzig on penalties? It was in the knockout round. 3-1. So not quite. So how did we fare in the league phase? We finished 10th. That's not bad, you know, in our first showing in the Champions League. 5 wins. Celtic, Arsenal we beat, Nice, Sparta Prague and Monaco. We absolutely destroyed them. We did lose to Bayern. Understandable. Dortmund, possibly understandable, and Valencia as well. We didn't do too bad in the end, but it looks like we lost all our games after the first. We'd won our first 5 games by looks of things, and then lost the last 5. Oh well, but who did go on to win it in the end? It was Barcelona 3-0, who we beat in a friendly. Super Cup, in fact. Final look at the squad, which I will have a look at the transfers as well, because Did we lose somebody else? Wow. Okay. Our goalkeeper went to Barcelona for £74 million in January. Why do our players seem to think they can leave halfway through a season? He looks really good though, doesn't he? 22 years old. Wow. I think he's a regen as well. So that probably didn't help us, but in a way it probably did as well. So who was it in goal for us then? Let's have a quick look. It was Plizzari. He doesn't look that great though. Only 29 conceded in 27. So even on a 2-star, he's done pretty well. And he is 32. So first thing would be the following seasons to get a goalkeeper. But that's pretty good though. 29 and 27. Which means our defence has done their job. But it feels like we're losing somebody else. 29 and 8. 23 and 18 for Franco. 21 and 18 for Durrami, 16 and 7 for Rutter, 14 and 15 for Rocker, 11 for our other young striker who looks really good, Alfredo. Wow, 11 goals in 10 starts, 27 off the bench, 6 and 12 there for Alex Scott, 9 assists for Warburton, Jesus, 8 assists. I mean, they've all done very, very well. This file will be available for you if you want to take it on and dominate with Preston. Take them further and win the Champions League if you can. Let me know down in the comments if you do manage to do that. The link for the file will be in the description below at kofi.com/IlsonCatGaming. But we are definitely building something here, I can tell you. So, to go alongside the squad and the formation, you will have £79 million to spend. It doesn't seem an awful lot when we got £74 million for our goalkeeper. That doesn't seem an awful lot considering we got 200 million in the bank. That just does not seem fair. Maybe they might adjust that after this season, but that's what you have got so far. You could definitely get a goalkeeper out of that. Look at our staffing. They have improved an awful lot. Just the goalkeeping a little bit. Our recruitment's got better. The same with the medical staff. And then now if we have a look at our records, there's our first trophy for 141 years, in fact. The Europa League we did win, so we were champions of Europe as well, and the Super Cup. So we managed to win 3 trophies. Unfortunately, none of the domestics, which is a shame because I did expect it to win at least one of them, FA Cup or Carabao. Let's have a look at records, see if we did break any. Nothing so far. Most league goals in a season, 105. That's in Sky Bet Championship. That's the year we got promoted as champions, I think. Highest gate receipts, 863,000 versus Sparta Prague in the Champions League. Highest results, anything there? No. Sebastiano, most league goal by a player in a season, 38. Highest average rating, Franco, he gets 7.44 after 55 appearances. Fastest goal, 15 seconds, Esposito against Forest. Was that the 4-4 draw, I wonder? It quite possibly could have been. Most league goals by a player in the season, Sebastiano again. In the 5-2 win over Brighton. Most assists, Franco, 22. Most clean sheets, 14 by Woodman, who we did end up moving on in the end. Most man of the match awards in a season, Franco again. Is that the season just gone? No, maybe last season, I think. Oldest goal scorer was Will Keane. Sequences, most matches without losing, 24. That must have been this season, surely. Well, part of last and this, maybe. Matches won in a row, none of them. Right, transfers, we must have broken some here. For Jesus Ace-Perua. From Alves, £62 million was the most we spent, and the highest fee received was for our goalkeeper who went to Barcelona for £74.5 million, which nearly scuppered everything. So like I say, this is where we're going to leave it. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let me know down in the comments if you prefer these type of rebuilds where we take one team and play it until we win the league. Could take longer than 8 seasons next time round, who knows. But yeah, do let me know if you do prefer these rather than the 5 season ones. But until the next rebuild, thank you very much for watching. Thank you.